Well, at this point, I'm a commentator. I'm not only allowed but encouraged by ABC in appropriate forums. I no longer cover the breaking news, a political candidate, or of course I would not give my opinions. But I'm on a number of programs in which I'm encouraged to give my opinions. A journalist, of course, who's covering a story or a candidate or an event should bring us the facts. There'll be places for commentary or for editorials, for opinion. I don't believe in the kind of advocacy journalism in which a journalist says, I've been sent out by the paper or by ABC News to cover the question of the city revamping the slums. I'm against slums and I'm against slum landlords. Therefore, I'm going to slant my story in that direction because I will be doing good. Bring the facts, and if the facts bring the viewer in that direction, you are doing good. But don't try to embroider them, leave out the great journalistic horrors of recent times, some of them, like Tailwind, a terrible piece on CNN that alleged that we had used gas to kill our own prisoners of war in Laos. It is clear from the report by independent investigators that the people who produced that program took material that supported their view and put it in. And the material they had, the pilot of the plane said, no, we didn't have any gas on it. He wasn't even in the program. It wasn't as if they said, well, all right, here's the pilot saying they didn't have gas, but here's someone saying they did. You make up your mind. They deliberately distorted the story. You can't do that. And I think they did it because they honestly believed it. You can't do that as a journalist, as a reporter. As a commentator, shoot my mouth off any way I want, and you can take it for what it's worth. Maybe nothing. Because most people I found on the Brinkley Roundtable, which was the most interesting part of the show after David Brinkley, they love to see me and George Will argue things. They generally sided with one or the other because we reinforced their previous belief. I know very few people, if anyone, who listened to me and said, you know, I used to agree with George Will, but Donaldson makes very cogent arguments. I think I agree with him. No, I was always a fool to them. And some people thought George Will was just a stuck-up prig because what I said, they agreed with before they watched. That's why some of these programs today, the old crossfire type thing, I think are kind of, as theater, maybe they're okay, but as mashing out public events, they're next to worthless because they don't really take the time to talk about the background, the depth. I mean, if you argue a Supreme Court case, you should have read the case. You should talk about what the case was and what the various opinions about it said, rather than just some knee-jerk version of whether it's either liberal or conservative and you like it or don't like it. But unfortunately, that's what you get today.